Supreme leader of Iran. Yeah. Do you have any tech support? Like scientists that are supposed to be really smart. You know, like Penny's, boyfriend on Big Bang Theory when they're watching the football game in Nebraska. It's my boyfriend. He's really smart. All right. You got any guys like that in Iran? Apparently, we don't have any like that in the United States. Yeah, that's true. Um. Okay. Don't even try to imagine. Just okay. Hadith. Right. You're supposed to be a Muslim. Right. Muhammad or Saladin calling themselves supreme leader. Um. Wow. Um. Tapestries with faces on it of ayatollahs, mass murdering people over money, and they're Muslims, right? You don't have any tech support with, have you ever heard the song, a group called the Dramatics? Some people are made of plastic and some people are made of wood. Some people have hearts of stone. Some people are up to no good. But baby, I'm for real. Like me, I'm for real. I'm as real can get. If what you're looking for is real loving, then what you see is what you get. Good group. You ought to go listen to them. You probably, I don't know if you'd like them. Probably not, but they were really good. Ron Banks, lead singer. Yeah, I liked them. Wow. So you don't have any tech support to keep yourself or your people safe from, the clone drones, but put your brain on a robot type wackadoodles here in the States, and China, and other said wackadoodle places. You don't really have any protection at all during the apocalypse from the Messiah, huh? Okay, okay. This is way different than the videos I made for Mahmoud Ahmadinejad and Osama bin Laden back in 2009 and 10 in Sierra Vista, Arizona, outside of Cochise County. Um, it's like, Sam Cooke. I was only 16. No, she was on. I've aged a year, so I was a mere lad of 16. I've aged a year since then. I'm very different psychologically, mentally, and emotionally dealing with these crazy wackadoodles in the military corridor of genocide operations in the United States. So, I'm going to talk to you differently than I talk to, Osama bin Laden and Mahmoud Ahmadinejad. What happened to that guy? Is he passed away? Mahmoud Ahmadinejad, is he dead? Yeah. That was like 16 years ago. I ain't heard nothing from him since. You think he'd still be alive? I'm still alive, and I've been treated way worse than he has. Well, if he got killed by some, well, I've still been treated worse than him. That man murdered people for money. He got murdered because if people murder people, I get treated worse than him. I'm the living embodiment of Lord's Prayer. I get treated like shit by a bunch of wackadoodles. So you got no smart people in Iran at all. We don't have them here. Well, we do have smart people. Well, I'm intelligent, but intelligent and smart are kind of radically different. Smart people are like, I'm going to use the phone to make you pay me money to live here and then put my brain on a robot, so I'm the best brain on the robot from the GoBots and the Transformers. They're crazy. And so we do have intelligent people in the United States, and he's going to have one view on this, supreme leader, a so-called supreme leader of Iran, right? So, what are your hopes and aspirations for your eternity? Since life is eternal and grace is infinite, we are what we do, and we're temples for the soul. Do you think that there will be a temple for the soul when your body's exterminated by like the guy that had his body exterminated before you were the supreme leader of Ayatollah Khomeini'ville? That once called Persia, now called Iran. Okay. Why'd you guys change the name to Iran from Persia? No one's ever explained that to me. Because they're still called. You still Farsi. You speak Farsi and refer to yourself as Persians, right? So why Iran? Was it a hostile takeover in the group? We are Iranians and not Persians. Let me know. Okay. I don't want to look it up. I don't want to hear it from some stupid ass academic that spies on my house and sexually assaults my family with technology and money. And I don't want to hear it. I want to hear it from the smart guys that are supposed to be Muslims in your neck of the woods, right? Girl. pray connect Muhammad, pray connect the Messiah. So have one of your spiritual people that's really good pray connect to me and tell me all about it. Come on, do your wonders. Cave of Wonders. That's Arabian. You're not Arabian. You're Persian, right? Prince of Persia. There you go. Jake Gyllenhaal. All right. Okay. This shit's all batshit crazy, right? No. You don't speak English. Do you have good translators? No. Hope so. Well, I'm the Messiah and I'm talking to you. And I'm the way, the truth, and life, I'm like Muhammad, so. Well, yeah, because, it says so in the Quran that, that Jesus and Abraham and Muhammad were all like. There is no God but God, and God is not begotten, nor is God begotten. God always is, always has been, and always will be. And Earl is the messenger of faith in God. 13/22 Redeemer me. It's a difficult responsibility. That's from a Racken and Bass cartoon called Santa Claus is Coming to Town. Watched it when I was a child. I get to be me. Mom had told me in prayer. Be you, Earl. God gave you life, and you shouldn't be any other way. Be you. We're going to have fun performing the apocalypse, And sometimes I do. I think once it's accepted and we're living the Lord's Prayer worldwide, I'll have a lot more fun. Once I'm surviving right now, stopping, eliminating abuse, recovering. I'm sure when I'm recovering because we stopped and eliminated abuse, I'm sure I'll have a lot more fun then than I am now, even though I'll be like, well, I'm already almost 60, It's pretty mean. I thought for sure in my 40s we'd have this taken care of. Thought I was going to be married to some really, physically desirable Hollywood type woman that totally repented and wanted to live the Lord's Prayer, but that didn't happen. So you don't really want to hear about you're like the you got your is that the Fortunes? Have your tech geeks look it up. You've got your troubles. Nancy Wilson also sings it. Yeah, you've got your troubles. I've got you're probably already aware that she's one of my favorite singers, right? Well, you should. You should have all your tech geeks studying me. I'm supposed to be like the 13/22 Redeemer there. And I had lots of people from the Middle East, and I was in Sierra Vista get all excited about me saying, yeah, we believe you're the man who's most like Adam Moses, David Jesus, and Saladin, and had Kurdans come talk to me, and Arabs and Turks, and, it's you, you're the guy. And I agree. I hope all the people I met in Sierra Vista that came and encouraged me from the Middle East are not murdered. Do you think that I do? Yeah, I got you in prayer. I do think it's most likely the case that they might be. Yes. I don't really hold any hope to meeting any of them in the flesh, in this body, again, and not because I think I'm going to die from torture and disease and abuse. I'm exercising a little bit more, and I'm uncomfortable physically because of chemical poisoning, but I don't panic, and I tell myself, it's just mind abuse through their Wi-Fi and chemical detoxing, and chemical detoxing is never comfortable or fun. I could have made it less uncomfortable if I had followed the orders that they had planned out for me for my grooming through the Temple of Set Illuminati, but I sat down and said to myself, I ain't standing up for the Lord's Prayer. They probably ain't going to. I'm probably going to have to do this all my head. So, fuck them, right? Fuck them. That's all they do. They don't want to live the Lord's Prayer. So every time they have sex, they're fucking, and I'm sure they fuck other people in hotels and houses and other places where they celebrate extortion, exploitation, and like insane, psychotic, sex crazed maniacs. A lot like you and all the people claiming to be Muslims in Iran, right? And the ones claiming to be Muslims in Saudi Arabia and Jordan, Egypt, and so on, so forth. All you creepy criminal types that are just like Donald Trump and Joe Biden and Barack Obama and other families that mass murder people with the CIA for petroleum products to sell $1,000 Xbox handheld devices that some guy scrapes up with a razor blade because he's making lots of money off of trending the videos to sell lots of products and say if they're worth your money or not. And money's not real, but life is. And giving your time away to insanity is pretty much being the supreme leader of Iran, right? Okay, well, I'm going to cut this one short because I want it to load real fast and go to bed and get some sleep. Well, I like sleep. It's, Book of Revelation, rest. You know me. Well, obviously you don't. You've got an ego problem, just like all the people that think I'm a charismatic cult leader with an ego problem here. If you're an egomaniac, you know it, because life's eternal and grace is infinite. And if you read an ancient book by mass murderers and believe that Jesus is a God in your head, then you're telling me that you're God. I tell you that God is omniscient, omnipotent, and I am the one most like Jesus, so we can all worship God and live the commands of the Messiah. Okay? And or if you're a scientist that says there is no God because I can't put it into a handheld device and have people pay me money for it and say, I'll get you to God, just buy my handheld device to play video games with God. They're also as crazy as people that read an ancient book written down by mass murderers that tried to eliminate the Messiah off the face of the planet Earth, so their business could be the top business in mass genocide and manipulating everybody with their invention instead of having faith in the truth of creation and faithfully loving one another, obeying the laws given to us by the infinite truth of creation, right? So I can prove to technology worldwide, beyond any reasonable doubt, in mathematical certainty. Because do you understand, Pi? Who's an egomaniac and a threat to the laws given by infinite glory for our eternal existence, and who's not? I would listen to me as if your very existence in a physical temple on planet Earth depended on it, and everybody like you. Because putting your brain on a robot and your brain is psychotic, and the robot would have to self-destruct because it would be a threat to all creation. I would listen to me as if I was the most beautiful, humble person that loved you and your family more than you ever thought you could love anything in your whole life or anyone. Okay? Well, I'm going to go to sleep because on this side of the world, it's nighttime. And on the other side of the world, I'm sure you're awake and murdering people over oil corporation insanity, right? Okay. Assalamu alaikum. You can't say wa alaikum salam to me. Okay. Oh, you're Farsi. How do you say it in Farsi? I'll find out later. Peace.